Hello everyone, this is Renee Millman here, and I have a very special treat for you today. I'm going to be talking to you about TRX, this, and how to use it, and also an adaptation that you can do if you don't have access to a TRX or if you don't want to buy one. I'm going to be spending a lot of time today talking to you about form. So instead of showing you a number of exercises you can do, I'm only going to show you two different ones because I really want to make sure you understand the correct alignment. So many times when we're working out, our bodies will figure out the simplest way to do an exercise, and without meaning to, sometimes what we do is we shortchange ourselves and we don't make the muscles work that we want to have work, and instead we make it easier on ourselves without meaning to. So I'm going to be talking to you today a lot about that. So first, let's break down the TRX. TRX suspension trainer is what this is. So if you've ever been to a gym, or maybe you've been online somewhere and you might have heard of this, or maybe you've used one, but it's just a set of black and yellow nylon straps that you can set up to do workouts by using your body weight. And that's one of the awesome things about body weight workouts, also called manual resistance. I love it because it gives you a totally different challenge than working out with weights. It's just another way to challenge your muscles and bring a new, something fresh and new and exciting into your workout. So let's open this up and I'll show you all the pieces that come with it. So I bought this for my home use. I also use it with my clients. And I also take it traveling. I just throw this sucker into my suitcase. I'll work out in my hotel room or wherever it is that I'm going. I've done it a number of times, just get a quick 20 or 30 minute workout in my hotel room, and then I start my day. So it's just awesome, I love it. So when you order the home, this is like the regular home model. This is what you get, this nice mesh bag. And then in it, you got this deal, and you'll get a better view of this in just a moment. I'll show you how to hang it up. So it looks like this. So here's the handles, and then with a nice clip on the end. So that's the main piece. And then you also get one of these. So in case you have a setup in your home, or if you have a garage or something where you could loop this around and hook that other piece onto this. But if you're just working out in your living room or something like that, you may not need this, but you have it in case you want to use it at some point. And the best part is this is your door anchor. So I'll show you how to use this in just a moment. I'm going to set it up on the door behind me and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the door behind me and fit this anchor in towards the hinge on the door. So that's it. You throw that anchor over the door, shut the door, leaving this part that's sticking out. Then I'm going to take this, clip that in, and we are ready to rock and roll. So I have my TRX set up here at the door. I have my mat down here, which you don't have to have a mat, but I just have this here because I will be starting on my knees, and it just gives my knees a little bit more protection. So the first thing I'm going to do is to lower the strap so that I can put my feet in them and start out in my plank pose. Then I'll show you two different exercises you can do. One is a mountain climber, and the other I call knee tuck. And then we'll break down the alignment and form. Very carefully, I'm going to place my feet in the lower part of the strap. This can be a little bit tricky to get into, so if you have a friend or a trainer to spot you, you may want to employ their help here. And then I'm going to walk out and come into my plank pose and hold right here. So I start with my shoulders over my hands. Make sure that you're not dipping your back. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. I'm going to fold my shirt here so that you can see clearly what's going on. And first, I'll do the knee tuck. So I'm bringing both knees into my chest and out. And so on. And you're going to do several, maybe about 10 or so, or 20 reps of that before you rest and then go at it again for a second set. The second exercise is your mountain climber. So I'm sure you've all done a mountain climber at some point, maybe in gym class or when you were a kid or for sports. Looks like this. Start with your plank pose. Get situated here. I'm gonna start with one knee in, and then I'm just gonna go one knee in and out. And so on. Okay. And then rest. So you may do, depending on your fitness level, 10, 20, maybe 30. Whew, and so on. So that's the basic idea, but let's talk about the form. I did mention how when you get into your plank pose, when you start, you always want to make sure that your shoulders stay over your wrists, like that. You also want to make sure that the elbows are soft, never ever lock out the joint, and make sure that your lower back isn't swayed. So you should not feel any stress or pain in your lower back. You should feel a slight tuck in the pelvis and the abdominals are engaged. So that's a very, very brief overview of the TRX. What I want to do is continue talking about the form and show you that adaptation I talked to you about earlier. Okay, so let's say you don't have access to a TRX, or you don't want to spend the money or can't spend the money on one. Don't worry. All you need are 2 towels and a tile or hardwood floor. Anything non-carpeted, and you should be fine. I call this clean the floor. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. We're going to do that knee tuck and mountain climber, placing our feet on these and slide it against the floor. Now make sure to use a towel that you don't mind getting dirty, because you will be kind of wiping up the floor a little bit here. Not a bad thing. So I'm going to start in my plank pose. Shoulders are over my hands. Make sure you're not sagging your lower back or not sinking into the shoulders, so tuck your tailbone and really think of bringing your tailbone towards your belly button. Here we go. So first I'm going to start with my knee tuck. Bring the knees in and then kick them back out. Like that. Do a bunch of those. And you will feel it. Your upper body is getting a ton of work and your core. It's so good. So adaptation number 2 is your mountain climber. Here we go. Let's set up from our plank pose. Here we go. Start with one knee forward. Okay, got the idea? Okay, so now I want you to watch out for a couple of pitfalls that are easy to do without realizing it. The first is, I want you to watch my hips and my back. This is the wrong way to do this. Here's our knee tuck. So notice how when I kick back, I'm dropping my hips and then I'm letting them drop when I come in. So don't do that. Instead, make sure that the shoulder to hip and spine alignment stays still. So that's what you want it to look like. The reason is the core has to be engaged the entire time I'm doing that movement, and that will prevent the hips from dropping and the form from collapsing. Let's see how it looks when doing mountain climber wrong way and correct way. Okay, so you see how my hips keep moving? I'm dropping. I'm letting the momentum and gravity just drop me down as I move my legs. So that's the wrong way. What you want to do instead is keep the core engaged. It's almost like you're doing cat stretches in yoga. And then keep, again, everything from my shoulders to my hip, you want to keep really, really still, as still as possible. See what I mean? So that you're not dropping, okay? I'm starting to work up a sweat. So there you have it. TRX, or an adaptation if you don't have access to a TRX and can clean your floor at the same time. All you need is 2 cleaning rags, and you can work on your mountain climber and your knee tuck And really, really pay attention to the form in the shoulders and the elbows and the back. When I said earlier, think like you're holding cat pose in yoga. If you're not sure what that is, let me just talk about that briefly. Cat pose is basically where you're in a hands and knees position, and then you kind of round your back and you pull up in your belly. So it's that same kind of feeling that you want to keep the entire time. And that's why these exercises are so good, and they're very, very challenging because they really make your core work wonderfully. So please leave me a comment or tell me what you thought, or if you've tried this before, let me know what you think. If you have any topics you would like me to do a video on, please leave it for me in the comments below. I really appreciate you spending this time with me. I hope to see you soon. Thanks.